YouTube. And let me welcome Max. Max, formally welcome to you here on LTC.
Thank you so much, man. How are you doing?
Max, I'm good, man. Max is such a cool guy. I think Max is probably the coolest guy of the Jesus Collective,
Oh
as far
wow.
as we know him.
Oh, appreciate
Max has got he's got that humble spirit, man. And I remember last year with Erika Campbell when they had the workshop at Hotel Verde. I think you led some of the worship there just spontaneously, and for me that was so amazing. Fantastic night, and I observed Max, and before that as well. But Max is just he's very humble, very easygoing as well. So Max, how excited are you for the launch of this album?
Man, I was saying to the team, I think sometime last week that I wish we could just speed up these coming few
Hey,
weeks so we can get to the launch. But my other fear is that once we get to the launch, the night is done and we've got nothing to look forward to where the launch is concerned. So yeah, I'm nervous and excited at the same time, man, to see what God is going to do through this installment that we have ready for the world time around.
before we get to the album launch, of course, to those of the people listening now that don't know, and I don't know where they've been, if they don't know about the Jesus Collective, tell them what the Jesus Collective is all about.
Cool. So the Jews Collective is a ministry that was founded in 2013 by Prophet Hilton Peterson. So basically, it's a ministry where just Jesus is the center of everything we do, man. So the purpose behind it is just to meet those people who are in poverty stricken towns who just can't afford to see live the people that inspire them in terms of the gospel. So, what we do is we just go out to minister to them in small towns just to bring Jesus to the center and the core of each and every town. So, just everybody can experience Jesus and get a chance to be part of this wonderful family of the kingdom of God.
Max, I think you need to tell people about those evenings. I always see
Yeah.
it on social media and it looks amazing. I want to join in one of those very
Yeah.
soon as well. But I don't think you will get a sense of really what's happening unless you're there. And I know God is surely in the place when you guys go and minister. But tell people a little bit about really what's happening on the evening when you go out and minister in the communities.
Sure. For us, yeah, for us, outreaches are spirit led. We literally, when we get into that room, we don't know what we put ourselves into. We don't have a program. So since we are the Jesus Collective, like I'm saying, Jesus is the center of everything we do. So it needs us to
Yes.
be to His Spirit. So we just go in there with just the Spirit of God and just be sensitive to what the move of God has. And we've seen God move in mighty way, lives being transformed, people being healed, people being set free from chains, from addictions that they have had for years. So it's just us just going to the room and just yielding to the Spirit and just flow as the
Yes.
Spirit. Yeah.
I see how you use the word flow in there. But
Yeah.
I also need to remind myself that next time I see Hilton, that I need to call him Prophet. Think that he's Prophet Hilton
He'll
now.
give you a very weird look. He doesn't like the title.
He will.
But yeah, that's what we do when we want to get Prophet Hilton.
I will. I will call him Prophet, and I think it suits him. And then just about you, very quickly, Max. How did you join up with the Jesus Collective? What is your role within the Jesus Collective?
So I'm a vocalist in the Jesus Collective, and every time people ask me how I got to join, I just tell them for me, it was just divine intervention and divine
Mm.
relationships. I had no aspirations of joining, but God, man, just stepped in at the right time. I remember there was a friend of mine who was doing a live recording. And the beauty of it is that at that time, the then MD Spencer, was also part of the project, and then he invited me to be part of his project. And then from there, he invited me to be part of the Jesus Collective. So that's why I consider it to be just divine affiliation. It's nothing that I have done for myself, but just God, man, just being true to the promise and the purpose that He bestowed over my life. And to see how He has navigated everything for me is just amazing and just awe-striking. I'm literally in awe every time God just opens doors for me, And this door, I am eternally grateful to God,
Yes.
not necessarily because of what it can do for me, but just to be chosen by Him, to be a vessel, to be trusted with God's heart. For me, that is huge, as
Wow.
human as I am, for God to trust me with His heart, to just take it to His people, for me, that is just amazing. So yeah, it's been nothing but divine affiliation.
Talking about amazing, your first
Yeah,
album was truly amazing, an award-winning album. I think that besides setting standards, besides the excellence on the album, the production, everything, um, we could sense God on that album. And I've got a couple of favorite tracks on that album, but I won't say. I'll keep it.
of
I'll keep it to myself. But
course.
there's definitely a couple of them that I often play during the worship encounter. We're gonna play one of your tracks as well. But that was amazing, and
Yeah.
that just showcased when there's unity, God commands the blessing. That's why it's the Jesus Collective. But now we're getting excited for the 17th of August.
Uh,
Fearless Lovers of Worship. Tell us about that. I know you're excited, but now you
yeah.
need to tell the listeners why they need to get excited.
Sure. I think what's exciting mostly about this specific project, is the involvement of everyone in the team, man. Yes, the first album was amazing. It was great. We worked with amazing people, and I remember I had a conversation with Loy the other time, and I was like, I'm wondering how we're gonna top this album because, like you mentioned, the first album was just amazing. And he was like, it's not up to us to top the album. This is God's business. So it's up to Him to take care of
Yes,
His business. All there is
yes,
for us is just to yield and just do what He wants us to do. Just like Mary said to the disciples when Jesus performed His first miracle, do whatever He tells you. So
yes,
that's how we yield to His Spirit. We depend on Him fully. So the exciting thing about this project is that everybody has been hands on deck from the get go, from the songwriting, from the pre-production, from the production to the post-production. Everybody's just so excited to see what God is going to do with this album. So I advise everybody in Cape Town and surrounding areas, please, you do not want to miss this wave of fearless lovers of worship, because ultimately that's all this album is about.
Um, I'm getting excited already. And I love the way you answer that question in terms of what Mary said
Yeah.
to the service and the people there. Do whatever he asks of you to do, and I love that, and I love that attitude there. But just the word flow and the term fearless lovers of worship. How did that come about?
Sure. So, Fearless Lovers of Worship is a concept we came up with in 2021. No, 2021, yes. It was post COVID. Because if you remember, in 2020, we were all locked down. Everybody was just hopeless. Everybody was just downcast. Spirits were broken. People were hopeless. So, through the Spirit of God, we were led to start this movement of Fearless Lovers of Worship, just to restore back that hope that people had lost because of the pandemic and how scary it was. So I think that concept was born out of that, trying to get ourselves to be restored back into the purpose that God has called us into. So with the first one, we literally just got into the room, just like how we do everything now. We got into the room, and just flowed in the spirit. So with flow, there's a double entendre to it. We flow in
Yeah.
the spirit, but at the same time, we are
Yes.
fearless lovers of worship and what we are doing.
Yes.
The concept was born out of that, just to bring hope and restore God's people.
I like the fact that it's fearless, and and it just shows that there's an abandonment to God in that time, and I think we need to let go of everything that holds us back from
Yeah.
fearlessly worshiping. And Max, there's so many things I want to talk to you about, and we are so pressed for time. But I know it's going to be brand new songs. So you got to
Yes.
tease us a little bit because I know you're not going to give us everything.
Okay.
But what can we expect?
Sure. You can expect surprises. You can expect surprises. We wrote amazing songs. Yeah, man, we've got beautiful features as well. Some are friends of the Jesus Collective, and we've got. Don't say I told you this. We've got some international acts as well who'll be joining us for this
I
one.
saw, I saw, I saw, I saw, I saw, I saw.
Gonna be amazing, and outside of just the flow launch, but we've got amazing acts that are gonna be on that stage that night. We've got amazing surprises, that are happening that night. So it's just gonna be amazing. So I don't want to give you too much so that people don't come. But yeah,
No, no,
expect
Max,
coming.
it's cold here in Cape Town, man. And
Yes,
I'm gonna give you a bit of time, not just to entice, because people know Jesus Collective, so
yeah,
it's gonna be good. God is gonna be in the house, but
right.
sometimes people say, "Oh, I just see a cloud there. I'm not going out, and it's winter." But they must come in. So please tell them to come.
Sir, like I'm not gonna lie, this album will blow people. God is just sitting on every song. God is sitting on every lyric. God is sitting on every vocalist. God is sitting on every hand that plays. So like for me, I wouldn't want anyone to miss this wave. Because from here, it's the sky is not even the limit. Yeah, I believe it's a supernal album. It's got God everywhere. So if you're in Cape Town, trust me, you do not want to miss this. Let us all meet at Grand West Arena on the 17th of August for fearless lovers of worship.
I love that. And let's get into some of those details taking place at the Grand Arena, Grand West, on the 17th of August. And the doors open at 5:30. Event starts at 6 p.m. Max, at 6 p.m. No African time here.
From
And okay, sit from. Okay. I'm just reading from your website. That's fine. I will
yeah,
just
came out.
I will take your word for it. But there is something that I've seen on there. No, under 3 years of age, I see on the event details there. But people must just check out all the details when they do book, and they must book. Max, what's the cost of the tickets? Do you know?
So tickets are ranging. The cheapest ticket you can get is 100 rand, and the VIP is just only 250. Nothing more than
Only.
that. Only,
Wow.
only. So we
Wow,
just
we,
want
we,
in.
we know of events that 250 is still cheap for entry fees.
Really?
But like I mentioned, it's the Jesus Collective. And when you look at those who are involved, if they had to have concerts on their own, the likes of Luiso, Chanel, Kayam Tetwa, Don Vino, Max himself, and a lot of these guys, even Michael Bethany, I'll just leave it there. I don't want to let everything out of the bag there. But
Yeah,
even for one of those,
yeah.
you're not gonna pay $100.
Yes,
I'm just
sir.
saying. And
Yes, sir.
let's pull the arena, Grand West, like we always do. And man, I'm so excited, Max, because sure the last time I saw the Jesus Collective at the arena, man,
Mm.
goodness, that's why I say to you, there's a couple of songs that is my favorite because I know, sure, I had
Because
an
we were there.
encounter with the Lord in that arena there, and it done me in, man. Uh,
Yeah,
um, and 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 somehow you sometimes struggle to recreate something when you
yeah,
replay it, especially when it's recorded.
yeah,
But with the Jesus Collective, from my perspective, when I do play those songs,
yeah,
and I'll give you the one examples of those. Actually, both of them. Behold the beauty and we bow. It transports me back to the
to that
experience,
night.
but it transports me to being in the heavenly. So that's what
Yeah,
I'm trying to translate. I don't know if I'm accurately
yes,
representing what the songs are.
accurate, accurately. Once you get to experience them in that magnitude where the launch is concerned, man, they just become part of your prayer room, you know. They just become part of your encounter with God every time, because you understand exactly the wave and the magnitude that God just showed up that night. So yeah, in order
Yeah.
to have good experience, I encourage people to come through and experience this for themselves.
So, like I said, Maxx is probably the coolest out of them all there at the Jesus Collective. He
I hope
didn't know I was going
everybody's
to say that. Nobody else is going to watch this, of course, right?
hopefully not, but I want them to hear it.
Yeah, how must they hear that? Okay, Maxx. I'm gonna play something that you feature on it. In actual fact, I played. Oh, no. Let me line it up here again because it's Suve Lele. You gotta just I think I butchered that, but that's your song
Eh,
that you feature on. Okay, Maxx just disappeared off screen there. Maybe just waiting for him to come back there. But I'm about to play the track that Maxx features on, Sivu Silele, and then after that, I'm going to get back into your song request there as well. So you can send through song requests now on 0617981075. And as I bring Maxx back there, he's back. Yeah, he's so cool. It's ice cool. He disappears, but he's back here now. So, Maxx, just a final word to you before we go. And
yes, sir.
I will tell the rest of the folks that you're the coolest, by the way, when I see them. You know why you guys were the coolest?
Yeah.
It's those leather jackets, man, that they had the last time.
Oh, from the previous album.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, so just the final words to you.
man. Yeah, just want to thank you for the opportunity to come and speak with you today. Man, just yeah, I want to encourage people to just stay strong. You know, stay on the race, keep your eyes on the prize, keep your eyes on the hill, because ultimately that's where our help comes from. And just like I've mentioned, just lean on God, lean on His Spirit, and just do whatever He tells you. You know, yeah.
Maxx, just the meaning of the song Sivuse Lele. For those like me that don't always understand vernacular,
Yeah.
just what's the meaning of the song?
So Sivuselele is translated to revival. So that's the entire theme behind the song. So yeah, that's one song that God used so greatly to restore me and revive me. You know, after having, like I've mentioned, 2020 and then 2021, I'd lost my dad. And the first time I ever sang that song was a week after his burial, you know. So every time I had to ascend the stage and sing the song, you know, before it
Wow,
ministered to anybody else, it ministered to me, you know, that Lord,
wow,
revive me again, you know, restore me back to your former glory. So that's the prayer that I have when everybody listens to that song, that they may have an encounter, you know, of whatever it is that you feel needs restoration in your life, you know, just yeah, just travail with God in the lyric and just trust Him, you know, because ultimately He's a restorer, He is a reviver, you know, and His word never returns to Him void, you know. So He's a man of His word. So just take Him at His word and trust Him that He is able to do exceedingly and abundantly. And yeah, nothing is too difficult for Him.
thank you, Maxx. I love your heart, and just the final details. August the 17th, we've got a date.
Yes, sir.
As for the rest of
See
Cape
you
Town
all.
and the Grand
See you
Arena
all.
Grand West,
Yes, sir.
6 o'clock. That's when it's happened. Doors open at 5:30.
On the dot. We're starting at 6.
And so, where can they buy the tickets? By the way, just before we go.
On web ticket, tickets are available on web ticket. Like I've mentioned, from as little as 100 Rand to 250, and then we all be there to worship the Lord fearlessly.
Fearlessly.
Yeah.
Maxx, it was a pleasure having you on. Looking forward to seeing you on the day. God bless you. And we're so
Thank
excited for Flow.
Appreciate you, Marco. See you on the night.
See you, man. God bless you.
Awesome. Bless
Bye
you, sir. See
bye.
you soon.
Bye bye. That's Maxx of the Jesus Collective. And I'm about to play you a song that he features on. And that song is called Sevo Lele. And that's up next year on LTC.